Toot toot, baby, it's time to ride the funk train. And you're with Funk Master V. Now, anybody that knows anything about me knows that I love a good old ball and bat game, which that's a terrible, I don't like that genre name of what it is, but it's basically the Breakout style games. Breakout, Super Breakout, Crazy Brix, Arkanoid, that type of thing. In fact, I've just been playing, watch out there, Breakout Recharged on the Atari Game Station Go. I was playing that a couple minutes ago. I love these things. I'm very good at them. And Video 61 has come out of nowhere. Well, you all know Video 61. Video 61 a couple months ago at our third annual Fuji Awards won another illustrious award, Laminated Instruction Sheet of the Year. Everybody knows Video 61 eschews the old convention of having paper instruction booklets.
No!
They prefer to have these laminated sheets that are about this big. They're great for placemats. If you're having a chili cheeseburger and the chili drops off, you just wipe that chili right off. The instruction sheet there, that laminated sheet, you can't do that with Atari age instruction booklets. You can't do that with Atari booklets. You can only do that with Video 61. There's a game out they just released last year called Tile Smashes, and it is a ball and bat game with a couple of interesting accoutrements, some caveats, some features that you don't see everywhere. Is it worth a damn? Well, let's check it out and see.
Since the beginning of time, there's only been one website with the Babylons to claim every game reviewed when it came to the Pro System, and that's Atari7800forever.com.
But now it's time to get on that YouTube trip, babies. And who am I? I'm Funk Master V, musician, ghost hunter, hat flipper, pro wrestler, comedian, actor, filmmaker, and I'm going to take you on a whirlwind tour of all things cool about Atari and the Atari 7800 with a podcast, news, even new crap. Baby, are you ready to get your groove on? Because it's about to get funky up in here.
Crazy Brix was released by Bob DeCrescenzo about 15 years ago, and it really was the best ball and bat, I hate that term, game for the 7800 for a long time. Even though there's a couple of levels on Crazy Brix that are too hard to be fun at all, it's still an excellent game. So here is Video 61's contender for the ball and bat crown of the Atari 7800. Does it win? Well, there's some good things about this game, and there's some not so good things about this game. I do think it is fun. It reminds me somehow, some way of a pinball game, and I think it's because the main feature of this game is to clear off a wave. You not only have to eliminate all the bricks on the lower section of the TV screen, but the ball can traverse past everything you see on the first screen and scroll up and start messing around with all sorts of stuff on the second screen. So there is a top screen. It's a lot like Devil's Crush for the TurboGrafx 16. It's a lot like Alien Crush. Those are some really good pinball games. And this game feels like a pinball game, ball and bat game combined. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like it. It really reminds me of video pinball for the Atari 2600. I used to play that a lot when I was a kid. Graphically speaking, and I don't know what's going on over at Video 61, but it seems like every one of their games has this weird fuzz kind of everywhere. And I wish they would figure out how to clean that up. It just looks like junk, or I don't even know what it is. It just, a lot of their games just has this like little fuzz everywhere. I don't even know. It's like visual poop or something. And it's not bad. It doesn't ruin the game, but it's like, wow, I wish they could figure out how to clean it up. Because if this game was crisper and clearer, it would, I think it would serve the title well. It reminds me a lot of their first Atari 7800 game, which was called Putt 18. You have a bunch of obstacles on the boards that are really indescribable things flying around, and it doesn't really matter what they are, but they're just basically lights and boogers and disco balls and flashing things like that. And, you know, your ball will hit it, and it will bounce back to you. Not a lot of thought went into these, I don't think, but they are crazy, and you don't know really what they're going to do because you don't even know what they are. The physics of the game are really pretty good. About 96% of the time, I feel like the ball bounces the way it probably should. There are some moments where I'm just like, why did the ball take that weird-ass carom off the wall, the brick, obstacle, that type of thing? One problem with the physics of this game is the paddle. The paddle seems to slam into the wall and keep going about half a paddle deep. It can kind of throw you off if you're a veteran Breakout player, because no matter what you do with the paddle or the joystick, the paddle is supposed to stick to the wall and not dive deeper into the wall. And that can throw you off. And frankly, I don't like that. I do like the fact that there are 2 chambers. I do think that makes the game interesting. They do a good job of policing the ball from actually going back into the top playfield over and over again. You have to clear off quite a few bricks on the bottom level before that top opens up. So the ball is not constantly going back and forth. And when the ball does cross from the lower field to the upper field, it is kind of janky a little bit. And if it hits a ball on the bottom, goes to the top, hits that brick, comes back down, hits another brick, goes back up, it starts to get kind of herky-jerky and almost can induce seasickness if you're a pansy. But once you're successful and you clear off all the bricks, the top opens up, and if the ball escapes through the top, you get to go to the next level. You're treated to a really nifty Breakout-style cinematic that I dig a lot, and then you go to the next level, and they change the color schemes, and I think that's good. The sound of the game is fine. It's pretty much like Crazy Brix or Breakout. There's no rock and roll. Besides the extra playfield at the top, the other feature is that there are tons of power-ups, and some have detrimental effects like making your paddle smaller. There are a lot of great power-ups that you can acquire too, and I think the best one is Knock Through. I think it's a K, and that basically means the ball is just going to not bounce back until it hits a wall. It's just going to barrel through all the bricks. Really cool. But there's some other interesting ones. There's like an electrocution power-up that freezes the paddle. There is one that just gives you a bunch of points. There's another one called Crazy Ball, where it's crazy. It starts going this way and that way, and it cuts microwave prices in half because they're crazy. It's Labor Day. It's Labor Day. I'm Crazy Ball. You know, that kind of thing. Television's $99. And also there's a guided ball, which sounds like that would be great, that you can actually steer the ball around. It is horrible. Don't do that one. That's terrible. But at the end of the day, that's pretty much it. It's a Breakout game, and even though it progresses and there's tons of different levels, and you can select up to level 16 to start, it's visually not very interesting as you progress through this. Another problem is, and I feel like they've done this with the last few games they've released, is it gives you way too many lives. They give you 7 lives. That's too many. You guys are too nice. They must have found religion recently or something. But they've done this with the last few games, like Delta Space Arena and Megaoids had 7 lives. You don't need that many. Cut it down to 3, 5. Make people work for it. Make people earn your love, Lance and Peter. Make them earn it. Cut that down. You're too nice. Oh, another thing I forgot that's actually a great little caveat is you can combine power-ups. I feel like the joystick works fine with this. The paddles work pretty well with this too, but the main issue I have with this game is if you want to use the paddles on your system, you have to unplug it, put in a joystick, go down and select all the little parameters of the game you want to play, and then you got to unplug the joystick and plug the paddles back in, and then you can hit the button on the paddle, and then you can play your game. If you die, you got to do the same thing again if you want to change the parameters. Another thing that kind of irritates me about this game is you can't start a game again by just hitting the fire button. You have to lean over to the console and hit reset, and that sucks, especially when I don't like doing crunches and I'm getting fatter and older. Overall, not a bad game. Video 61 games are pretty cheap. So if you're somebody that wants to have playmates for your Crazy Brix cartridge and your Super Breakout cartridge, Tile Smashers is a fine choice. I don't think he will go through your wife's panty drawer or sniff around for your wallet trying to get bills out of there. I think he's a respectable young man, a respectable young cart, and it'll look good there. And hey, if you're having chili cheeseburgers while you're playing the game before church, whip out the laminated instruction sheet, put it on your lap, and that chili cheese concoction won't spill upon your white pants before you go to your Mormon tabernacle and worship that guy up in the sky.